All right, what's up, guys? My name is Ben. This is going to be my first YouTube video and upload, so if it's awkward, then that's partly why, and another reason is just I'm just awkward in general. So, we'll just get that out of the way right there. So kind of a little brief overview who I am. I live in Minneapolis. I currently work full time. I'm 33, probably older than I want to say a lot of people that are probably coming across this for the first time, but in my opinion, that doesn't matter. Anytime you're going to start something, you might as well just start it. So that's kind of the approach I took and wanted to do. So basically, why am I going to document this? I'm just kind of going as a Q&A because that's easier for me to kind of keep my thoughts straight. I'm documenting this because I think it holds me accountable for what I'm doing, and hopefully me documenting this will help other people. I think when you put your thoughts, out there and your ideas out there, it kind of makes you follow through. And it also kind of can help create a dialogue for other people to kind of comment. Obviously, I've commented on YouTube videos before and gotten interaction and learned from people that have directly done what I'm trying to do. And I think that's the most valuable kind of information to get, is asking people who gone through what you're trying to do and then getting them to educate you. So obviously I kind of want to create that environment for myself and the channel. So I definitely encourage any kind of questions or interactions or emails to me if I happen to seem like I know something that you're wondering about or I didn't cover something in a video. So that's why I'm kind of documenting that and this in general, just because I also want to see, literally I haven't sold anything on Amazon before. And I started from zero. And so this will kind of just document that process. And hopefully if anyone else is going through it at the same time as me, or if you're watching in the future, if you're just starting out, you can kind of see the actual progression that occurs or is occurring in my own kind of business, where I'm succeeding, where I'm failing, where I'm going to learn certain things that would be helpful for you to learn, so you can avoid my mistakes and hopefully avoid either losing money or time or both. So that's kind of one of the reasons I'm choosing to put this together. Okay, so when did I actually start learning FBA? I probably started, I think September of 2017 is when I started to learn about it a little bit. What was my experience beforehand? My only experience with e-commerce or anything online probably up until that point was I had learned about print on demand probably around March of 2017. So I kind of watched a bunch of YouTube videos on that, learned a bunch on that, joined a bunch of groups. So I kind of always wanted to do print on demand t-shirts, but it had been not feasible because I didn't have extra time to manage inventory, and I just kind of wanted to make the designs and try and sell them online. I didn't want to have to do anything else. Obviously, again, passive income is kind of the goal there. So pretty much that was my reason for that. So I kind of jumped into that. I did actually start a print on demand, and I still have it. In case you're wondering, this sweet shirt. No offense to the ladies out there. It was just kind of an entrepreneur shirt that I made. And if you want to check out my site as an example, if you're trying to print on demand, I'm still improving mine, but I'll put a link in the description. So my experience was that I kind of learned, print on demand. I learned about Facebook advertising. So I think I'm semi-dangerous on the Facebook ad space, but that changes all the time. So I'm hoping to use that with Amazon FBA, hopefully to help create traffic. And if I do that, I'll help educate people on what I'm doing or exactly what I'm doing with Facebook ads to try and help drive traffic. One of the disadvantages I know that's happened even in the past couple of years is Facebook ads have definitely increased in cost, and that's maybe one of the advantages of Amazon and PPC. It's potentially a lower cost traffic source. I don't know if it actually is. I'm actually going to break that down by numbers in a later video, so that's why I think it'd be helpful if people subscribe if you want to see that, kind of comparing and contrasting what it actually costs you to drive traffic versus how much it costs you for Amazon fulfillment, FBA, all that stuff. But anyways, getting ahead of myself. So that was kind of my background beforehand. Started in September on FBA. Did I do any courses? I did do couple courses, and I'll probably review them. I thought that they were helpful. I would say up until the point I did courses, I also probably I mean, I spent probably at least 100 hours or more watching YouTube videos. I've probably done the equivalent of 5 courses, but not necessarily, from beginning to end, just kind of gathering information. That's probably excessive. I probably didn't need to do that much, but that's just kind of how I am. I just kind of wanted to tack in, learn from multiple different people that were putting out. There's a lot of good free content out there. I'll say that. And again, I'll cover some people that I think are legit, and hopefully I can be a good free resource. Again, I'm going to be going through this live, so people can kind of see where I'm running into issues or not running into issues, and we can hopefully help each other. But yeah, so basically, why am I launching 3 products if I have 0 experience? This is a good question, and the reason is sort of both psychological and for profit reasons. Knowing myself, if I was going to try and launch one product and for some reason it quote unquote failed, I would probably have a harder time overcoming that, and I think a lot of people might have a harder time overcoming it. I'm not saying I wouldn't continue, but it's more of like my background's investments and finance, so I'm kind of trying to approach it as like a diversified portfolio. And so basically, if I'm doing multiple products, I might have one that's a success, one that's probably mediocre, one that fails, and hopefully the one that's successful can kind of counter the one that fails and the one that's mediocre. And that's kind of one of the reasons I'm approaching it that way. The other reason is I'm kind of going for not like that typical 10K a month product. I think that's probably getting definitely more competitive. I still think you can obviously differentiate and get those kind of numbers. And all the products I think I chose have the potential for that, but that wasn't kind of the initial goal. It was more like, if I was conservative, I'm basically being conservatively aggressive, if that makes any sense. And what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, most people say you want $100 a day profit. I think that's a good target. I'm going off of the fact that, hopefully conservatively, worst case scenario, I'm doing $50 of profit a day per product. And so that actually gets me, over $100 a day. Yes, it does cost more investment up front, but there's very few things that can give you the kind of potential return of Amazon FBA, in my opinion, from an initial upfront investment to kind of continually almost be giving you a 100% return on your money, even a 50% return on your money, each month is pretty insane. But that's obviously the name of the game and the goal we're trying to do. So that's one of the reasons I approach it that way. In all honesty, I probably would have maybe gone with more products, but these are definitely costing more than I would have thought. And part of that is Chinese New Year. I'm kind of doing it at an awkward time where I'm trying to be aware of the fact that if they go on vacation and for some reason it does start to do well, I don't want to immediately run out, because people will say, if you kill all your momentum that you've gathered from your products launch, then you kind of have to start all over and it costs you more money. So I'm trying to hopefully avoid that. I'm not egotistical to think that, my things are going to blow up, but I'm just trying to be aware in case it does do all right. I have a little bit of cushion to be able to get through Chinese New Year, hopefully, and then get stuff reordered. And so, as an example, just because I like people giving examples personally, I am investing a decent amount. I would say my initial investment per product is from $3,000 to $4,000. And it varies in units. 2 of the products I'm going higher dollar amount. One of them going more on the lower end. So that obviously is going to cost more. The lower dollar amount, I'm ordering more units. I'm getting like 1,000 units. Again, I kind of went off of the gauge of how many units I'm going to have to sell to try and rank, which I'll kind of go over as well. The same thing with the other kind of higher price units. One's like 250 units, one's 200. So those are obviously smaller, but I'm expecting to only sell hopefully 3 to 5 a day, versus the other ones I would hopefully sell 10 to 20, hopefully more, but that's kind of what I think is maybe realistic. So that's kind of how I approached it there. How long did I take to find products in terms of doing research? It probably was 2 to 3 weeks of a decent amount of research, and I don't even think it really needs to take that long. I don't really know, because I might have come across these initially and then I narrowed it down, because I basically have a spreadsheet of um, a list of a bunch of ideas and potential products that would work, and then I kind of went through and decided which ones I was kind of excited about, and I knew that would kind of help motivate me and get me to do things. And so I kind of narrowed it down and chose my 3 products. 2 of them are related to one another. They're in the same niche. They're all kind of in the same niche technically, but 2 are directly related with the same brand. So I was hoping to leverage the effort I'm doing off of, the initial product I was going to do, and then be able to use that both targeting wise and branding and all that stuff on the second one. That's kind of one of the reasons I did that. And the funny thing is, like, the third product that I ended up coming up with, it was almost like I'd come across this before, and then I kind of had this aha moment of how I should maybe approach it, and it was almost like it's a no-brainer. So then I had done all this work on these other 2, and then came across this other product, and then I was like, well, yeah, obviously I'm going to do that, and I immediately contacted suppliers, got some quotes. I didn't get a sample on this one because I didn't really think I needed one, or hopefully I don't. And then I basically immediately ordered it, because the reason I did that is basically I'm bundling, and the other products are already doing well, and I also kind of want to try and maybe get in front of Valentine's Day. If I don't, then that's kind of annoying, but at the same time, obviously I'm not trying to do a seasonal product. It just happens to be that it could be a good gift for someone as well. So I tried to play that angle. So I'll be curious to see if that helps or not. But that was kind of, how long I spent in my process in terms of doing that. And I'll probably go over maybe some more specific stuff in the future. None of the stuff that I've done has been anything kind of crazy or unique compared to what people talk about both in courses or on YouTube. What I do think you need to do, though, and again, I'm speaking from no experience and no success or failure at this point, but I think I've seen things where you definitely need to differentiate versus a product, and then I think you also need to know PPC and be willing to also give up a decent amount of money on your marketing efforts initially. That seems to be what people say that I think makes sense to me. So we'll see if that happens. I don't necessarily have a target of cost for marketing, but I know how much I probably need to give away to start to rank. So I kind of have that in mind. Like I kind of said, did I differentiate my product, and how did I differentiate it? I did differentiate it. And not all like my own kind of proprietary designs. One of them was just packaging. I kind of went for different packaging, my own kind of branding on the package, not on the actual product, because that was going to be more expensive. Figured initially I'd just do package, and then from there I could go on the actual product if I really wanted to. The second one, I differentiated through my design. It was easier to obviously change the design. It was kind of a change compared to a couple other things that were selling well. Now again, I don't know if people will necessarily like the change that I made, but I have a decent idea that hopefully they will. I also did packaging for that, so I basically differentiated the design, and I did packaging that has my own branding on it. Third one, I pretty much just bundled and also did my own packaging. So that was kind of how I differentiated in this instance. So, and like I said, hopefully 2 of them can play off of one another. And I kind of have a strategy to hopefully get reviews and sales. Maybe I can utilize one with the other, and if I can do that, I'll talk about it. So I'd encourage you to kind of subscribe and put on the notifications, just so I'll be updating people probably on a weekly or whenever I think there's something interesting to learn or that I've learned. I'll share it. So it's not going to be like a daily like most people. That's not what I'm necessarily trying to do, but hopefully I can help people. Other people can help me. And if you just saw that Spencer Glasgow guy, I think he's pretty good resource. I didn't take his course. I think he just came out with one, but he does have a lot of good free content. So you might have noticed channel name, 7 income sources. The reason that I chose that is obviously there's kind of a joke with me at work where I'm all about the value play. Not that I'm cheap by any means, but I try and find what I think is a good value for the money. Whether it's, I'm a car guy, so I was like, whether it's a car that's a good value for whether it's horsepower or whatever it is, for lunch, whatever has the good deal. I'm trying to basically highlight some things that I've done because my background's investments. I'm kind of an options guy, so I'll definitely cover options trading and strategies because there's actually quite a bit of money to be made. And in my opinion, a more legitimate, I don't want to say not legitimate because I'm not a crypto hater at all. I just think that if people are concerned about a lot of things and they want the return potential of cryptocurrency, you can get a lot of that with options and certain strategies. So I'll go over that because I want to try and help and educate. And then just stocks in general, car flipping. I've done that before, parted out, talk about how I approach that, real estate, how I approach that. Not that I'm big into real estate, but like, I always think there's a way to find value, regardless of whether you think we're, at a peak in housing prices or not. There's a way that I would approach it, and it's not like rocket science. It's just like once I break it down or people break it down for you, it might make more sense. You might feel more comfortable in feeling that you're getting a good deal, or if you don't think there are good deals out there, how to get a good deal. So I'll be covering that type of stuff, print on demand, probably some drop shipping, because I definitely did look into that. We'll talk about it, but I haven't done it at this point. But kind of all those things together, just kind of a way to develop passive income, because obviously the goal is to be able to do that. I would say, I didn't really cover this, the print on demand site that I started. Currently it's not profitable, and I say currently because I think eventually I can make it profitable. It's just going to require a little more effort, but it is super cool to like get a notification from Shopify that you made a sale and you really didn't do anything. You were just kind of sitting there or you're sleeping. So that's kind of the whole goal of, 7 income sources. Also, I'm going to cover and just kind of documenting my journey in each one of those, and what I think is hopefully going to help people, or if I make mistakes, try and help people avoid those mistakes. So anyways, hopefully that was maybe interesting. Subscribe please, and give me your feedback, because that's helpful. And I think, if we start a dialogue, it's going to help more and more people. If you appreciate it, appreciate the thumbs up. And yeah, hopefully we'll be making a bunch of money together. And I'll update you guys. Oh yeah, I guess what I'll say is my first product is hopefully shipping out early next week. The other two I'm hoping within the week or two, because I really only have that amount until Chinese New Year. They've all said that they are going to get it out to me, but I've heard that that's not always the case. They don't necessarily under promise, over deliver. So I'm hoping that I will still get them all before Chinese New Year. If not, I guess I'll just have to deal with it. But once I get it and I'm live, I'll let you guys know. In the meantime, I'm just getting stuff ready, like listings, PPC campaigns, Facebook ads set up. I have taken down some Instagram influencer names. I don't know if I'll do all these things, but if I do, I'll tell you about it, and kind of educate you, because I think long term you kind of need to have all those tools and those skills in your toolbox to be able to have this be a long-term success. And I'll kind of cover that stuff as it goes. So anyways, appreciate you guys watching, and look forward to updating you with the first one. I'm pretty excited. I'm a bit nervous, obviously. I don't have an insignificant amount of money in this. It's not like I'm super wealthy. I have a decent job, but it's a pretty big investment. So I think it could pay off, and it's obviously mostly on me to try and make that happen. So hopefully we can all do it together and help each other out. So talk to you guys later. Peace.